Hey everybody, welcome back to Guys Night Lab. I'm Jesus.
I'm Jordan.
And welcome to another edition of Halloween Nights. Today we are going to be talking about a movie that came out in 2003. And once again, we will have some honorable mentions at the end. But
Noise.
The movie that came out in 2003 that we chose was a movie called Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, classic.
A very classic
cinema.
Yes. So Freddy versus Jason came out in 2003. And this movie, for our newer listeners, and it's kind of a shame if you think about it, like, the movies ain't what it used to be. And,
Old grave, she
ain't what
she
it used to be.
Continue.
I mean, pretty much if you think about it, but the movies, like, I go to movies all the time at the movie theater, and I see new releases and whatnot, and, like, the movies they're kind of packed, but not, like, back in 2003. Like, it was just always...
This was a big deal to have them joining up on the same screen at the same time.
I mean, this was like... So, like, Marvel and crossovers and all that stuff is, like, kind of like, multiverses and extended universes. And, like, that's a thing now, but this was not a thing back in, like, 20 years ago in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s.
This was special.
And so, like, having Freddy versus Jason, two iconic 80s horror icons, finally meet and cross universes. I mean, that was literally 20 years in the making.
Yeah, I was going to say 15, 20 years in the making. Yeah.
And there was some teasing about it, but it never happened. And then finally it happened. And I remember, like, opening night, like, we drove to, like, I think, you were with me.
You reminded me. I forgot about that.
We drove to 3 different theaters, and they were all sold out on Friday night. Like, every single showing, it was huge. And I remember, like, I was so mad because, I mean, I'm a Jason guy through and through. So I was just waiting for this matchup, and I had to wait for Saturday night to go watch it. And it was, I mean, we did, and it was great and awesome. But this movie is, like, it's what it is. It's Freddy versus Jason.
Didn't quite live up to the hype.
It's camp. It's a popcorn flick. Could it have been better? Yes, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Did it have great moments? Yeah. I mean, you had Robert Englund. You had Robert Englund being Freddy and just being classic, campy, cheesy Freddy.
Throwing out one-liners. Yeah.
The one thing that would have been great is if Kane Hodder was Jason.
Yeah, I do wish Kane played Jason.
Yeah. So, but the movie pretty much follows that, like, it's 2003, and honestly, to be honest, I think in, like, those 10 years, there had not been... I mean, there was Jason X, I guess, that came out, and I mentioned it on the Halloween Nights. That I think that one came out in 2001. But that one wasn't, like... It was like not a spin-off. It was Jason.
It wasn't true canon, though.
Yeah, it wasn't true.
Series.
Yeah, exactly. But so before that, there hadn't been a Friday the 13th movie for, like, 10 years, and the Nightmare on Elm Street was, like, the new Nightmare, the Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which was kind of like a spin-off as well. It wasn't canon to the other one. Freddy's Dead had came out, I think, in 89 or 90. And so this was, like, the first time we had seen, like, Freddy and Jason again being who they were.
Right.
And so what happens is, like, these teenagers, or the town, it's like a different name, but it's like Elm Street. Like, they forgot about Freddy Krueger.
Yep.
And so he's visiting in their dreams, but he's not strong enough to, like, kill them because they don't believe in him anymore.
To fully come back.
So then he's using Jason as his, like, is it lapdog or service dog or whatever? To
kind of his fear-mongering tool to like get them to believe in him again.
Exactly. So Jason is in the real world and he's killing these kids.
Yeah.
And then Freddy is, like, using Jason to, have them, fall asleep, and then he takes over. But then obviously Jason is taking too many of the kills, which is so awesome.
The cornfield scene is great. Yeah.
And I mean, it has all the stereotypical 80s, like, teenage high school horror movie tropes, like cornfield, barnyard, high school party.
Yeah. Cornfield rave, bro.
So so they're trying not to fall asleep, and like all this, just your generic movie. It wasn't a great movie. It was very generic, but the matchup at the end between Freddy versus Jason, that made up for it.
You watch the whole movie for the last 15 minutes, maybe. Like, that's about it.
It's like Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
Like, you don't watch it for the humans. It's like,
waste all of them, dude.
Get out of the way. Like, you're just waiting for Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah,
and definitely. That's what Freddy versus Jason was. Like, you would you could care less about the protagonist and all that. Like pretty much like Freddy or Jason, like just get rid of them. Like we're waiting for the two of you to duke it out and see who comes on top.
You're basically Millhouse waiting for the fireworks factory.
Yeah, exactly. When did they get to the fireworks? Yeah. So, but yeah, Freddy versus Jason, a lot of fun. Like I said, know what you're getting into. It's a generic popcorn horror movie. But for 2003, like I said, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And so I do hope that, because we haven't had an actual crossover for horror. I mean, we had, Godzilla versus Kong and the Marvel movies, but those are just kind of weird. But like horror icons fighting each other, this would be like, John Wick versus like the Equalizer or something, or the Transporter, in Fast and the Furious or whatever. I don't know, something like that.
Well, and then what broke my heart about this too is that this movie was like, we watched it and we're like, that could have been better. But then all the rumors floated around, if you remember, before this movie and after this movie, going, I hear the studios are talking about doing Michael Myers versus Freddy versus Jason versus
I remember that.
Ash from Evil Dead versus. Anyway, obviously none of those ever came about either, and so that was disappointing. But again, I guess a good attempt at this one, but just kind of fell through on the whole plot and the vibe of it, I think. But I don't know. What are your overall thoughts?
Like I said, it was as generic as it could be. I think that the final matchup with the like heavy metal music and everything in Freddy vs. Jason it was fun. This is one of those like movies that was pretty generic, and I'm really shocked that there wasn't like a Freddy vs. Jason 2. Like it's not like the movie did horrible in the box office. It wasn't like there's plenty of movies that have bombed. Not to say worse or harder, and this one didn't like bomb. It did fine, but I don't know why they didn't do the budget was $30 million and it grossed 36 on its opening, so it made its money back on opening weekend, and it grossed pretty much I think over 100 million worldwide. So I don't know why they never made a sequel. Maybe it could have been with like the rights or something, because it's too. Production companies of Nightmare and Friday the 13th.
Yeah, maybe licensing. And stuff,
so I don't know, but this is a movie that just kind of felt like it was screaming a sequel, which would have been fun too, because there's certain movies that like the sequel is better, and you're like, okay, maybe they learned from their mistakes of the first movie.
Right.
But overall, fun movie. Like I said, definitely check it out on Halloween nights. It's one of the better ones of 2003. But anyways, the honorable mentions that we're gonna mention for 2003 is the other one that came out was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And that was the one. And that was the one with Jessica Biel. Yeah, and that one was really. I don't know if you've seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This one's definitely different, a little different. But it was Arlie Ernie, right? Oh, he makes that
great,
movie.
man.
Yeah, he's so good in that movie. And it's just like it's really creepy.
It's way better than I thought it would be, to tell you the truth. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, I highly enjoyed that one. Like that one was really good. But yeah, we'll definitely review that one. But that's an honorable mention. Definitely check that one out. And the other one was Identity with
John Cusack.
John Cusack. Yeah, that one came out in 2003. That one's not necessarily like a horror movie or a scary movie. It's more like a thriller, but it does have like horror movie elements.
Mystery thriller. Yeah.
And so like, I don't really want to give away too much of the premise, because it is pretty cool, but pretty much like you'll find out like by this like midway through the movie, second act, like what's going on. But yeah, it's a good twist and plot. But I would definitely check out Identity. That's not like a big movie that a lot of people have seen. Like I said, not necessarily horror. It's more thriller horror, kind of like The Hitcher from '86. Like that one's it like that. That's not horror, but it's more thriller horror. So
that's a good comparison.
Yeah. Identity is definitely a great one to check out. I really enjoyed that one. Like I said, not a lot of people have seen it or know about it. But
I liked it a lot. I don't love the twist, but that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Well, I love the twist, so Jordan's an idiot. So just kidding. But that's it. Sometimes it works for some people, and sometimes it doesn't. So, anyways, I'm Jesus,
and I'm Jordan,
and we'll catch you on our next Halloween nights for Guys Night Lab. Oh, and since this is Freddy vs. Jason, if you want to check out our Friday the 13th timeline that I think I did last year for Halloween nights, that kind of goes over all the Friday the 13th movies and explains the timelines and the spin-offs and the Jason movies versus Friday the 13th movies, where there's Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and then Freddy vs. Jason versus the Friday the 13th title, because those movies did not have the Friday the 13th title. So, yeah, check that one out. And, we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Peace.